Yeah, so here's the thing. When you're a time traveler, right? I mean, like, I don't even know how to explain that to somebody. Like, that look at you like you were crazy, except the Department of Aviation and Star Things that know better and knew that there were crimes going on. Whether they still remember them or not is a whole nother ball of wax. But when you are so royal that it's really hard to deny you your spot in the world. Like, you have a country named after you, you have a history, a legend, an entire religious institution. I mean, you realize that for Christians, the Catholic Church is the kingdom of heaven, and then there's the ground that you walk on, which is where the building church is, the CHURCH. Right. I own, and the Catholic Church was named after my own Caesore, which is my own Caesar legend. Whatever year it was built, it doesn't matter, because it still remains, which is how I got my resurrection and my placement in the world. But what happened was at some point somebody opened a Mickey Sticker Club defense because as the world was turning and my direct line was not being acknowledged in placement, even though I was doing my reporting properly as a Forevermore. That's a FOREVEMORE. Like the word vamonos was one, like, come on, andiamo, let's go, vamos. Right? And then it was vamos, and then it was vamonos. Vamonos was Esperanto, I believe, but in the Catholic Latin Esperanto of the Argentinian, as the Pope we have now in year 2020, I have no idea what his name is. That's how great of a Catholic I am. Listen, I mean, it's the institution that I'm supposed to be involved with, as well as the crown spot. Haven't met the Pope, haven't met a diocese official in Rome or in the United States of America. That's a problem for all area shitbags that don't do their fucking job properly. Oh my God, your holiest mother is resurrected and you never went to go meet her? Imagine our surprise, Pope, whatever your name is, in the year 2020. Wow, says a lot for the fucking Catholic institution. However, the building still remains, and the memoir, MEMOIR, of my place in the world, which I had before I was born. Because my legend was birthed before my body, and my resurrection like came about. However we work in aviation and navigational, where like the timing of two anatomical beings looking human is way more important in the world than any of the common or problems or street shitbags. Yeah, right. And it's amazing how in year 2020 you've welcomed me into your home on your planet, stupid fucking humans. Holy Jesus Christ. It's like, could you have planned any worse? I mean, we put together a council because Elizabeth problem with 3 centuries before. The United Skins of Shitbags, that's the U.S.S. Actually, it's the U.S. They're the shitbags that we didn't know what to fucking do with them. I mean, they're all Asian as far as we're concerned. ASIA. Anastasia said so. Grand Duchess Anastasia. Yeah, that's who I am. There's a memoir on that. GRANDDUTCHESSANASTASIA. Because that's who runs, the Grand Duchess Anastasia, which is myself, runs the Asia shitbag quantum problem in calibration, whether you like it or not. But here's what humans did before I arrived. They sat queen in a kingdom that's not has no claim. She has no king. She'll never have a king. She'll never be born a star king. She'll never birth a star king. No, she totally, that royal court, right? COURT, and I call it courier, COURIER, and it's COURTTEIR, because in royal places in Star Kingdom we have a court tier. There's a tier of body order of importance, mine and Niklaus being king and queen number one, and then there's the courier, is the person who brings the message of the king's men out to the public in order to deliver business. Sometimes we call them ambassadors, I think, these days. The linguistics have changed in America since you've ignored me completely, and my grandparent and my mother and father. It's clear that you haven't been doing any of your jobs. So this is what it looks like from my star end. And it's in my I have a documentary. If you're in aviation, or if you're in aeronav, or you're somebody special in the world, like, I don't know, do you have to be a Nazi or a Soviet? I'm just curious to see the documentary, or can the shitbags in America to help me out see it? I don't know. There's a time lapse of wherever I am in the world, my really shitty, boring day, as I just am, my whole entire connection to where I need to be, like a junction plug has been unplugged, and I just walk around in a stupor, STUPPER. This is incredibly dangerous because while you see me not knowing anything and not knowing what to do with myself, how to take care or feed my kids after they come, because I got raped by the two wrong men due to like Hiroshima issues and a crown of a king of the protest church in England. So this is where, like, this is a real fucking problem, because you didn't seat the right queen in that was going to have, or actually that already had king line in. It was reserved for me and Niklaus, actually. Yeah, you're not allowed to have a king in the United Kingdom until we're here, which resurrected, which we are. Those are the rules. But they sold out each other by what they were learning to keep the evil queen, because the royal forces were learning things and that they were never allowed to learn before, and they didn't want to leave. Then they started doing all sorts of things. Then Niklaus and I had to get a whole court together against the royal court. I had to get another court, which is how we put the United Skins of Shitbags, the U.S., together, because they're all the criminals. Anything in U.S. is a criminal. U.S.A. was where we were trajectorying, where I was going to wake up as a poor, non-existent person, which was only going to break the world more, because I already did all the star traveling, the reporting, the timing mechanism, and the resurrection was the reboot, REBOOT. That was really fucking scary for everybody, except the criminals. They were really fucking happy about it. They're like, oh my God. And then it was like the criminals against the superheroes, who are playing in a string quartet that's getting really fucking small because they're starting to forget things, and that's because the criminals now know who the good guys are and start reprogramming what their days are starting to look like in really fucking dangerous, scary timing and anatomy. So that's why I don't really get, like, well, you have that little documentary of me at the bottom doing nothing ever important, but big shit's running around the world, and there's a window in a window, like, you know what those are now, right? Windows to the world is what I actually am. I'm the operating system for humans. That's what Niklaus and I are, and that's how we know how fucking broken things are, and why I don't understand ever why a human with that threat against humanity would ever choose a nuclear weapon, would choose to devastate and level their entire city just to have a brand new, like, civilization pop up, like a storybook. They sold themselves out, which is how the United States started, because no Soviet and no Nazi wanted to be like, and no Western or Eastern European wanted to be like the Asians who did it first. And then we had to, like, recall that because we didn't want anybody in the rest of the world to find out about it. And then they're like, oh, how do they do that? And it was like all the shitbag criminals were just learning the more mistakes that were made. And it's like, Kill the fucking queen and go get the correct genetics out of the fucking schoolyard, douchebags. Oh, but that never fucking happened. So then like more like backup plans and then more backup. How about we just go forward with the right fucking action the first time, knowing how the bare minimum bones of Mason and anatomy on the planet fucking and the universal system works. I mean, God forbid you fucking humans do the right thing once in your life or once in like, I don't know, several generations. Because you sit there and you're like, well, I don't know what to do because it's like, it was them. Is she blaming people? Is this real? Are you? Like, at what point, like, I have multiple generations. I have multiple uses of vernacular. I have multiple methods. Why are you studying my methods, stealing my mythology? See, MYTH is a myth, and then there's a method, METHOD. Why are we giving the criminals that are not working to actively get me and Niklaus together to literally sew the universe back together with my uterus? Why are we not like rewarding those people and killing everything that's going against the grain? GRAIN. I'm just curious. Oh, right, because you let the criminals obtain nuclear weapons. Well, that was really fucking stupid. Okay, get over that thought. It's a quick flight to wherever I am from wherever he is. So I'm just curious. I'm in America. That's the United Shitbags in America. Right, yeah, so that's where I am in the East Coast, still in the same fucking useless state of New York, even though I own the state of Russia, STATE on RUSSIA. It's my namesake, folks. I'm the one who is in most important, and that's where all my counselors are. So now I'm just curious, as the most important royal on the fucking planet, with the church name, with the history of a Caesar, with all the documentation, with a documentary, with a resurrection, with a special reboot date in an extra special format, with an extra special sun up ahead, why the fuck would you not do everything in your power to help pick me up off of the state of New York, Fidelis, and bring me quickly into the royal courtier and courier me to Russia, where the biggest state that I own in namesake and anatomy is where I belong, to be raised by the proper people, since the wolves in New York fucked with my parents' head and they don't even know who I am. Do you get this? This is what keeps happening. One comes awake, one goes to sleep. And it's really dangerous. We documented that for you before I got here, which is why I'm so fucking annoyed and pissed that you let me get unplugged and put to sleep. I mean, I was up and running at 3 years old. I told the Americans, I got some calls from the Air Force. I was all excited. I couldn't wait to meet my dream man because REM was still working. And then all of a sudden it started like fitsing in and out, like as they started to learn more things. More people watched the documentary in the Mickey Sticker Club. Now the Mickey Sticker Club becomes a fucking problem. Where are the royal court in my Department of State Homeland, which is Russia? I'm just curious. It's the biggest fucking territory in the State Department. Why is nobody fighting to come get me and bring me to Niklaus? I'm just curious, useless fucking humans.